Good morning, guys. This is 5 o'clock in the morning, and I used to make music in this time, but now I'm making YouTube videos. Life is getting really hard, but we will still fight for our lives. Hope you are doing well too. So let's start today's video without any further ado. Against Yo guys, what is going on? My name is PRIYANX and today's video is gonna be a breakdown video of my very own track, The World Is Against Us, which is also gonna be hitting 50,000 streams on Spotify. So go and listen to the track now, link is in the description. So I've made this track with a great friend of mine, the absolute legend, Gemmi. If you don't know who Gemmi is, I will put all the social media links to the description of this video. So make sure to give him a follow, he's totally an amazing singer. Alright, so I'm doing this breakdown video only because you wanted to see this. And if I'm taking care of your words, you also need to take care of mine too. You can easily take care of me by clicking the like and the subscribe button now. Alright, so I'm not gonna talk about how I process the vocals in a single video. Otherwise, this video could have extended to more than an hour. So if you need a dedicated video of how I process the vocals for this track, please let me know in the comments. So let's start this video without wasting any time. Alright, so as we can see, I have opened the project of The World Is Against Us, and let's start by playing the track.
We swim against the tides like we're king of the sea. We dreaming recklessly, falling too deep.
Alright, so we will take a look into the intro, how we started. Like, I will turn off the vocals for a minute and let's listen to the intro. So here, as you can see, I have added this plug sound. So this is a preset from a Team MBL sample pack, preset pack probably. Without the processing, it sounds something like this. But with the processing, it totally changes. Alright, so I have added an OTT to add more shininess, you can say. And after that, I have cut the high frequencies and the low frequencies to have a filtered kind of vibe. Alright, after that, I have added a fruity reverb, which is putting the plug into a big space, you can say. And after that, I have added a pancake, which is panning the whole plug sound to the left from the light. Right. That creates an amazing vibe. After that, I have added a ping pong delay. And now we have added a Valhalla room to add more reverb into the sound. And in the final stage, we have added a crystallizer. So I have made this preset from a Skybreak tutorial and used it in here. Like, it creates an amazing stereo field with some granular echo sound, like chirp chirp chirps. Alright, so let's move on to the piano. So I have added a Nexus, Cloud Piano, and a Labs, which are doing the same thing. So the Labs piano are a little soft in here, but the Nexus piano is taking care of the high ends. Alright, without processing it sound kind of like this. So I cut the sides from the lows. As you can see, the sides are starting from 143 Hertz. So no low end is in here in the stereo field. After that, I have added an EQ, which are obviously cutting down some low ends as well as some high ends. And after that, I have added a fruity compressor, which compresses the sound. Alright, after that, I have added a reverb. So I have turned down the diffusion. The diffusion was like this, and I turned it into this, and turned up a little bit of the weight signal and the decay, and turned up the low cut a bit. After that, I have added another EQ, which is doing some surgical thing in here. And after that, another EQ to boost some bass. Alright, so we have added an OTT. After that, another EQ to cut some low ends. That's it for the piano. Without the piano and the plug sound, the intro kind of sound like this. So I have added a vinyl crackle sound and a natural ambience. This is like thunder to create a broken hearted feeling kind of vibe. Alright, let's turn on everything except the vocals. And added this little effects in here. So basically these two effects are same. I just make it as an unique for the second and added the reverse effect. That's it. And added a pitch automation which is doing this. So it's sounding a little bit off in its own, but with all of the elements it's sounding great. I had to do some experiment to achieving that sound like na to the mix, but I was failing and failing. So I did the curve manually, like as I've said, I was experimenting and this experiment worked somehow. So listen to this. So when we are listening to the song, this hits like no instead of no. Alright, let's move on to the verse. Alright, so here I have added some filler synths. This is sounding a little bit like this. And like it's a Nexus preset, El Diablo. It just helps to emphasize the whole track. And I also added some ambient textures like the background effects of things, this chime effect, this vocal atmosphere, this exhaust sound, and of course a re-space. It's the serum preset and these things. And these little things make your mix more interesting. It's the second part of the verse. So in here I have added these little arps which are sounding like this. And added a string. What the hell? Why my string isn't working? Maybe because of some automation thing. So I added the piano again and the re-space, and I have added some more background effects just for the atmosphere and the vibes, and also added the snap. Alright, so in this part I have added the drums which are sounding like this at the moment. Alright, so as we can see, here are the drop chords and the drop leads. I've added a low pass filter onto them so they won't sound open, like they are filtered in this part, and added a sidechain. So here I have added a 4x4 sidechain to have some house beat kind of rhythm. Like so we will talk about the leads and the chords in a few minutes. Let's talk about the build-up for now. I just looped the first part of the lead and it keeps moving and moving forward. Like you can easily say that something is coming. And I've added the drop bass. So I added another snare and this reverse FX kind of thing. Added some basic riser stuffs and an alarm, as you can see. Alright, so here we can see we have some drums. So this little thing adds some tonality to the snares. Without this and with this. I have added some hi-hat loops. I've also added a crash to have that first impact when a drop hits. I've also added a white noise throughout the whole drop. The white noise adds an absolute energy to your tracks, especially in the drops. Like you can feel the energy, the high end. So now we have the bass sound. I have added 2 layers for the bass. This layer is taking care of the low ends and this layer is taking care of the mid range. So this is just a sine wave. I've turned up the wavetable position to 2 and added some white noise. Without white noise it sounds something like this. Not that great. So I distorted the sound with a white noise, so it's sounding like this. Without distortion, with distortion. And for the second layer I have added a preset. That's it for the drop basses. And I have added a string. I always add some strings to my drop to make them more emotional. And these strings are taking care of the stereo end of the drop. And now we have the lead sound. So I made this lead by my own. It's just a square wave and I just automated the LFO with this thing. Like I dragged this and put this into this thing. I don't know what does it call. So the main thing is this LFO is helping the sound to move its pitch like really fast. So if I turn down the rate, you can hear the difference. It's not even in the pitch. Let me solo this thing. As I said that it's moving its pitch to up and down so fast if I turn up the rate. So if I turn it down, it really takes a lot of time to get to the point of that wobbleness. And for the second lead, I have added a preset of Virtual Riot. And that's it. So I have maintained a call and response pattern for the lead sound. The first lead sound is calling and the second lead sound is responding to the first call. so it sounds a little bit interesting. So here are the chords. So I didn't even added much layers for the chords. The chords are sounding like this separately. So basically the whole sound is this. And these little effects are taking care of the creative direction of the track, like this. So in the break, I've added some FXs like this to give some rest to the track. Added a cowbell loop, which are barely visible, audible. And I've added this thing. And I added the same synth into the chorus part of the first half of the track in this part. They are the same thing. And I made it by my own. These things are so easy to make. Alright, I will explain how I made it in another video. So as you can hear, I have added some little FXs. And I have also added this little melody in here. To make the track more interesting. So I used a preset from a Team MBL preset pack, and without any processing it sounds something like this. Like it's a really fat bass or lead kind of sound for house tracks. Like you can easily say by playing some notes. So the main thing is, how did I process it? So at first I've added an EQ to reduce some high ends. Added a Valhalla room to put it in a big space. Added another EQ to get rid of the low end. Added another reverb, make it more vibey, and finally added a band pass filter like this.
It's something that I do believe, they trust in your faith. Oh, I don't wanna stop you, but I wish you could stay, yeah.
I added some clock ticking sounds and a vinyl crackle and the Reese bass and some background effects from the intro.
Only that I do believe, they trust in your faith. Oh, I don't wanna stop you, but I wish you could stay, be the same. Loving you was blessing, I get with my singing.
So in here we have added the little arps that we have already used in the first half of the track, and some clock ticking loops again, and this pad.
Loving you was blessing, I get with my sins, and I know that I'm not innocent, but love was free, yeah. 'Cause love was free, yeah.
So I wanted to have a hip hop vibe into the B section of the second verse.
Free, yeah.
So I added the drums, the hip hop drums. So I added a fruity convolver to add some reverb to our snare. So the reverb is hitting the snare after a few milliseconds, like 98 milliseconds as you can see, because I added some delay into the reverb. And I also added some more elements to make our track more vibey. So this thing, look at this. So I have automated the pan to go from the left to right. I have automated the volume to go from low to high, and the pitch, it's going from high to low. Here are the automation clips. This is for the pan. As you can see, it's going from the left to right. It's the channel pitch, and it's the volume, which is increasing gradually. And here is a brass sound, and altogether it sounds like this.
And my love was real, yeah. 'Cause love was real, yeah. I can't believe things will be different for you and me, and I will love you, even if you need to battle me.
So in this part, I have added the drums to make it kind of epic. So without the vocals, it's sounding like this. Alright, so there are some background vocals over here. I added an ARP sound, this one. This ARP sound is fitting well with the vibe of the track. I also switched up the chords a bit. You got the strings. Alright, so now we are about to check the vocals. So the vocals without the instrument sounds something like this.
I can't believe things will be different for you and me, and I will love you, even if you need to battle with.
So the harmonies and the background vocals are sound something like this without the lead vocal.
Even if you need to battle with.
And yes, this is me and Gemmi singing the harmony for this part. Actually, Gemmi took care a lot for the vocals. Like, obviously, he did the vocals. And I just added a slight harmony by myself. Like, he already added the harmony, but I needed another high layer. So I did a little bit of singing into this. Not that much, because Gemmi killed it with his vocals. Alright, let's hear it again. This is my favorite part of this track. Like, listen to this whole thing again.
I can't believe things will be different for you and me, and I will love you, even if you need to battle me.
Now we are coming into the second build of the track, which is the same as the first one. I was being lazy to make another build up, so I just copied it and pasted it in here.
If you need to battle me.
But in the drop, I added a little variation to the drop. Like, I added some dubstep stuff, like the A part of the drop, which is sounding something like this. Alright, so what we did in this part, like I added a bass. So this is the main bass. Bass, where is your sound? Alright, I made this preset. And I have added some effects as well. So in here I have added these effects, which fits well with the track. So I changed the rhythm a bit for the first part, like this. And after that I switched it into the default rhythm like this. And in this part, so this part wasn't planned. Like I was about to finish my drop in here. Like I wanted to have an outro for the drop. Like I wanted to end the track with the drop outro, and after that the main outro will come. That was my plan. So I told Gemmi to sing this thing. Like it just came into my mind and I told him, and after that we made this thing. So here we are bringing the intro plugs, which reminds us to end the track. It's sounding so dry, but after turning on the master, you can hear the difference easily.
When the ride is against us,
I just added some FXs, like they're not any new FXs. I just copied and pasted it from the verses. Like, can you hear that? It's sounding so lame by its own, but when everything is playing with this is sounding magical. I had to do a lot of experiments to achieve this thing.
when the ride is against us.
And that's it. Hope you enjoyed this breakdown video and learned something new. If you want more breakdown videos like this, please let me know in the comments. And I already did beg for the like, so I won't be doing it again. But if you're still watching this video from the last 30 minutes, you don't have any other options. Go like this video and subscribe to this YouTube channel to avoid 5 years of bad luck. And I will see you again in the next video. Till then, keep learning new things and take care of yourself. Bye.